Hi, my name is D.S.FEBRUARY, and this is Golf It Walk in the Woods Part 2. So I went back and redid a little bit. I felt like a couple of these were a little bit cheap. So for holes 1 through 3, I did redo a little bit of work, and then of course I did holes 4, 5, and 6, as you can see here. And then laid the groundwork like this waterfall over here for the future levels to come. But no spoilers just yet, other than this beautiful waterfall that I did. So for now, I redid this area. So now, instead, on hole 1, the player gets taught that right here, there are certain things that'll give away what a hole-in-one actually is. Now, this isn't a guaranteed hole-in-one. Now, of course, you can still make your original thing, but you can see right here that there's something else going on. So if you go where the 4-leaf clover is, go right into the tube. See, not 100% guaranteed, but a much better chance at getting a hole-in-one. I didn't want to give the player just 100% perfect, no matter what, chance to get a hole-in-one. I feel like that might be a little bit of a cop-out. But unfortunately, it's a little bit luck-based. It really depends on honestly, just how lucky you are, how you hit it, really. So you just like that. So yeah, I redid hole 1 in that regard, and that kind of teaches the player about these clovers. And of course, in hole 2, you see there's a couple of clovers right here to kind of give you a bit more of a warning that there's something going on right here. So now when you play it again, you can see up ahead, oh, there's little clovers. What does that mean? Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we? And then you go up and, oh, I saw clovers. What does that do? And then, you make it in the hole right there. I'm not going to try doing that one. That one's the hardest one for some reason. I also replaced this with a little bit more it just kind of makes more sense like this rather than a little bridge, because bridges wouldn't really be tilted like that. Something like this kind of would be. Obviously, the final hole is subject to change, and that's one of the final things I'm going to be doing. This hole I didn't change much other than I think I had a little bit of foliage since last time you saw. But then, right after this, it leads into this next hole right here. So this is hole 4, that's hole 5, and that's hole 6 right there. So this is a little bit of a trek down the mountain. I'm actually going to smooth this a little bit up real quick. There we go. So this is where your trek kind of further down the mountain begins. So in the level design itself, this level is supposed to teach you supposed to introduce the idea of different strengths of hitting. So right here, if you hit it hard at all, you launch off the edge. But if you hit it soft, you go down here. And then you have to hit it soft again, and then you have to hit it pretty hard to get all the way around this loop, and then go all the way down. So that introduces, in a safe environment, the idea of hitting soft and hard. This one capitalizes on that a lot. So it really goes into hitting it soft, a little harder, and then if you want to go for the hole-in-one right here, you have to have already honed in how hard you're hitting. So I'll go and show that off. Of course, later on, it's going to be, you can see up ahead, oh, what's coming up? And you can always see the bridge of where your inevitable fate is coming. Yeah, you want to hit nice and soft right here. Which will really always put you about right here. Of course, it's got to be a little more difficult for me. Usually puts you right there. Another little soft one. Try not to go over the edge. And this one will carry you all the way down. It's kind of like a little rock quarry. Nice little jaunt down here. And then you can either try hitting it over this way, which I don't like doing, or you can go up the fun way and you don't hit it too hard. There we go. Nope. There we go, yeah. And then you have a nice little straightaway right to the hole. Ignore that. There we go. Now, if you want to try, you can go for the hole-in-one. This one's a little bit more difficult. But this one, make sure you hone in your skills on how hard you hit stuff. So, yeah, that's that right there. And then this is the hole next right here. So this is the one where it kind of gives it a little bit of a twist. The philosophy is introduce an idea, enhance it a little bit, go in, do it a little bit further, and then give it a little bit of a twist. This one is all about jumps. So this is along the same philosophy of honing in those jumps, except you have a lot higher pressure while doing it. I gotta change up my thing here. There we go. Very carefully get on this one. You can see down over there and everything. Kind of see stuff that's coming up. And then, right, oh, ooh, no. And you'd think I'd be a little better at this. Excuse me. And then you go right up here. Oh, nope. Nice and simple. Now you may notice there's another direction that you can come from. And if you have a keen eye, you would have spotted this little clover right here. So if you hit with a medium amount of power right at this clover, go right up to this little area, and pew. Again, not a guaranteed hole-in-one. There's a really big chance you can get a hole-in-one, but I didn't want to just give it to the player. So it's a little harder to hit, especially because you have something telling you exactly where to hit. Oh. I have never gotten stuck there. Now I know what I'm going to fix next. Dink. Yeah, just a little bit of a shortcut. Makes it a lot easier so you don't actually have to go about the side of the mountain. And then right after that one, you're heading into the lumber mill. As you can see right here, there's like there's full trees, and then as the closer you get to it, the more stumped the trees are. But this is also where I'm introducing moving parts. So this is the very first level that's going to introduce stuff moving. So your first goal is to make it through these two right here. Of course, it's going to be a little bit awkward. And then you just go through this next little area. Try to make your way through these little things. Nice. And then right in. So this is, again, it introduces moving parts in a safe, simple environment. Of course, these are supposed to be spinning in sync. I'm going to go ahead and change that. There we go. But yeah. Now, if, again, you noticed, there's a clover. I pointed at my screen. You can't see that. If you hit right here, you may notice right up there, if you hit it just hard enough, of course, I'm not fantastic at this. There we go. Right down here. Now I'm gonna try to hone that in a little bit more. There we go. Dink. If you just barely roll off this thing, that should boost you right near it. That's awful. Again, not a guaranteed. There's no way I just did that. There we go. And that's all 6. Obviously, a lot to be done. A little bit of work to be done on this hole. Especially like environment-wise. As I go, I'm going back through and building up the environment of previous holes. I just want to make sure I don't set anything in stone before I get across what I want to do next. So once I'm about 2 holes out, I'll go back and refurbish stuff I've already done. I'm going to leave this area alone just a little bit because I know that the end of the level is going to have you come back up here and make it back home safely. But for now, it's going to be a little bit barren, and then I'm going to, now that I'm done with this area, I can actually like fully populate it, especially this area. There's going to be a little bit less woods and a little bit more of like rocky terrain. And then you get back up into the woods, and then this is where the lumber mill is. And then, of course, it leads all the way to the bridge. But yeah, that's it for holes 4, 5, and 6. I have it paired up to holes 1 and 2 are essentially the intro. 3 through 5 are all about how hard to hit it. And then 6, 7, and 8 are all going to be about moving parts. And then, of course, 9 through 11 are going to be about water physics, but we'll get into that later. That's about it. Thank you so much.